That's it. We're gonna count those, right?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to East Hartford, Connecticut and Hall of Fame Silver Lanes. We're here for the final match of the 123bull.com Bull for the Cure singles event. Our competitors are just finishing their practice. It's Tony Renaud, our host and manager here at Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, and Nicole Trudell, who has been just mowing everyone over through the finals. She just got off a 289-257 victory against Natasha Bidwell, and Tony's coming off a 266-258 win over John Conry. So these bowlers are clearly lined up. They both have a great look on this modified house shot pattern, and we'd like to introduce the folks with us. We'll start with NIBA President El Jefe and the driving force behind our Hall of Fame dinner last night, Chris Forey. How you doing, Chris?
Everybody. Thank you.
And Hall of Famer and budding great commentator, Alex Aguiar. How you doing, bud?
Good evening.
How's it going?
Can I do a quick shout out real quick? I want to just say congratulations to one of my guys, Rhino Page. He won the Coldwater event.
Did he
Extra
really?
Fame event. That's a new title.
Way to go, Rhino.
Good for him.
So I'm very
Scores
proud.
were pretty high in Coldwater, huh?
I don't know. I'm too busy to pay
Are you
attention.
serious? The cut was like 70 under in Coldwater. It was
Really?
awesome.
Wow.
I honestly,
Awesome.
I heard pair-to-pair this group. But real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Rhino because he obviously has had some injuries.
He's had so many wrist problems and other issues.
We got
and
that
it's great
straightened
to see
out,
him
and
back.
so I'm very happy for him that he won a title.
Good
So
for Rhino.
That's awesome.
Good guy.
We had 242 entries here in the singles event. The high qualifier was RJ Broge, who was just 5 strikes away from breaking the all-time NIBA record. He shot 1363. Our friends from Brunswick, as usual, came through with balls to give away, and we had Kevin Napaver win a radical quick fix based on score, and we had Selena Broderick win the raffle based on and won a DV8 Creed. So if everyone is watching, we are live streaming. Would you please share on Facebook this live stream, and we can broaden our audience.
And Nicole's looking to join Amanda Broge with 2 titles for ladies.
That's right. Nicole with 1 title, Tony with 10, going for his 11th, and already in the Hall of Fame. And there's a late
And her ball's not picking up fast enough on
I'll
that
tell
lane.
you what, this pair looks a little bit tighter in practice. Looks like it's a little cleaner through the front here.
Ball's not picking up in the mid lane
yeah,
enough.
It's not picking up as much. Thing I noticed though is when that happened, you had to be super careful if you just tried to cheat it right, because if you get it right a little quick, it is going left fast. Nicole starts out clean though. Never an issue starting a championship match, 9 spare. So
Nicole is cool as a cucumber, I'll tell you. She
Sure
just gets
is.
up there. She needed one against me and to shut me out, and just like ice in her veins.
Tommy Scher with a nice comment. Lady versus legend.
true story.
Oh, I like it.
True story.
Great.
There's Tony's
Oh,
first shot,
did you see
7-10 in the
I hate to
hole.
say that. Was that the 5-pin strolling around the middle?
5 pins, yeah. So maybe both lanes have carried down a bit here.
Yeah, like I said,
35
it just
and
doesn't
6.
look like it's picking up in the mid lane as quick as it was, you know, especially on the pair here, 33 and 4 that Nicole just got off of.
And 31 too, yeah.
Yeah, and Tony as well. Tony and John got that bite in the mid lane, and it just doesn't seem that it's picking up enough.
Yeah, we have Tony's throwing a code red. Oh, I thought he was going to get 0. Code red. I think Nicole.
I think she's throwing the new Mako.
She
Was
did
it a
drill.
Mako?
They did drill her that this week. So
I think that's right. I
The
think
new
that's
Mako
right. I saw it on the
attack.
rack.
I want to say
against
bite, but the Mako bite's an international ball. I drove one of those the other day for somebody. Matt Dzikowicz joined in. She's going to have
Matt
another
Cr-
title than you.
Matt Dzikowicz, Another one where the counterpart is better than the husband. We have John Bercio. We have Valerie Bercio. We have Amanda Broge.
Well,
There's a few women that men are a little behind.
And
good
speak-
shot for how about a
Oh,
late wiggling
Is
8
that,
pin.
is that a members
goes
bounce?
for
Do we
Tony.
consider that a members bounce again?
So there's a joke that's been used against Tony multiple times in multiple occasions. I think the best example was the 7-10 that Chris Vialli was nice enough to leave for him to lose 2 rounds ago, and we were all commenting that the optics were not looking very good on that one for Tony. But
one thing you're right about is that Tony is just that stellar individual, and the good breaks should go to the good guys.
they go to the good
They
guys.
really should.
Let me tell you, he doesn't have 10 titles for nothing. Tony,
yeah, it's not picking up soon enough.
Tony earns every shot he throws, and he's just as powerful and
There's no
competitor
quit in
with
him
heart
either.
than he ever had.
There is no quit in that man. So Nicole looking to clean this up a little bit, start out 9 spare, and move along.
All right, hold your
give her a
balance.
We'd like to thank our sponsors of NEVA for 2017. Buddy's Pro Shop to my left, Strike FX Pro Shops to my right, and congratulations on the new location in Brockton, guys. And Ace Mitchell, Better Bowling Concepts, Brunswick, and the brands of Brunswick. Cambridge Credit Counseling, great to see Chris Vialli this weekend. Logo Infusion, I like the new media team shirts, Chris, from Logo Infusion, thank you.
Yeah, other than the star on our butt, they look great.
Yeah,
Oh, is
that's
that
supposed to
what
be
those
Dallas.
shirts
Yeah, it's
are?
Dallas.
Nice.
I reminded you we're in New England.
I'm
Thanks
gonna
to
remind
Tim-
you. I'm gonna remind you who the best team in football is.
Thanks.
I'm just
Lord.
kidding.
Who might-
I'm,
who might
guys,
that be?
I'm
guys,
only joking.
guys, we gotta finish the sponsors. Thank you. Turbo Grips, BowlingSeriously.com, Tony Renaud and Hall of Fame Silver Lanes, Yankee Lanes, Bullwinkle's Pro Shop, Savage Arms, many styles of bowling, and our newest sponsor, John Zawalik at DJ's Pro Shop. Thank you so much to all our 2017 sponsors.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Sponsors really help make NEVA what it is, and without all the sponsors, we wouldn't be where we are. So thank you guys.
And we seem to have added money in almost every tournament these days.
The
And
flat
it's
10,
great.
not to cut you off there, the flat 10 is really going to come into play because
Sure is.
they have not. We've gotten one.
Nicole made a ball change. I don't know if you saw it on the last shot. I think you were a little distracted talking.
She threw
but
a regular Mako, I think.
No, she threw a Scandal Pearl, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
I
went
only
to-
just
she
see
went-
the other ball on the rack, so I
Yeah,
thought
she went to a Scandal Pearl, and Tony's still throwing his Code Red. And
symmetric, a little rollier.
yeah,
So guys, how did you find on the right, how did you find them pair to pair and lane to lane?
When I pointed them in, they played. That's 4 games. When I pointed them in at the end of the block, they played within like a board on every. I mean, like pretty much my ball flat 10. I just moved a half and tried to jam it. But when I was hooking it into that window, pair to pair, and I find that brutal in this place when you go around the lane. But jamming it into the lane, they were very playable.
that's why John's won as many titles as he has in this building.
Yeah, you keep it in front of you.
He's the magician at keeping it in front of him. And
I've always said when you bowl at 12:30 here, if you can keep it in front of you, you can score because
Agreed.
every pattern. Has nothing to do with how they oil them. Every pattern by the end of the day, except for that short when we bowled the Invitational on, you got to play your target. You have it's like throwing it uphill.
yeah,
in
don't
the
give
middle.
away the 3-pin for the most part.
Yeah, and you just hope you can get the corners out.
Yeah. It's kind of like a trick in Keen too. You know,
Don't talk to me about Keen.
wow, come on, Keen's one of the.
No, he was great, but I bowled like doo-doo Sunday. Saturday was fine.
Let me tell you what, Keen is. There's a
He's-
trick to striking in that place.
It's similar to this. You know, the front of the lane just hooks so early.
Yeah,
And there's another flat 10. He needs to change to a ball that
He
rolls
sure
earlier.
does. He needs something that picks up a little bit quicker, even if he had, maybe a little surface on that ball. Maybe if it was, 3,000 or 4,000. Similar layout, but maybe just something with just a touch of
I
surface.
see a daredevil trick or.
Yeah, I could see a trick working. I could see a trick, and he
That's
likes his IQ Tour solids too.
My code red, if I remember correctly, is the pin's very, very high on it, so he's gonna, it's gonna
Gonna get him
tumble.
through the
It's gonna tumble pretty good.
I expect nothing but 9 spare here and move on.
The bad thing is, somewhat bad about Tony. He's not a ball changing guy, and let's put it this way: I don't think he'll make a ball change here.
I don't disagree with you. Again, that's that old school. Let's change hand
Oh, he's actually
positions a
looking
little
down at the bag. Nope.
bit. I think he knows that he's got to do something because the flat 10 is not going to beat Nicole. Like I said, she just made that ball change, and her ball looked like it just picked up a little bit better, and she got that swishing 7 out. And
So I was talking to Susie earlier. And
Great shot.
Great
It
shot
is.
by Nicole for a
ball
double.
change.
And that's going to give her a 20 pin lead plus count.
She's learning well.
Yes,
so,
she is.
So I was talking to Susie and Tony. They spent $30,000 on topology analysis for this place.
Yeah, topography.
Topography analysis.
No,
Sorry, Andrew.
think
I
we
always
know
get
what you
those.
meant.
I always get those wrong. And I'd be curious to see across these pairs how they changed, because it certainly looks like this pair is going more uphill with less in the mids
Oh, yeah.
than the last two pairs.
I think there's also a game or two less bold on this
There
pair.
has been.
There's
This
a couple,
pair gets-
there's a game or two less bold on this
Probably,
pair.
probably 2 games at least.
But then you'd think it might be a little crisper on the back, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, see
ring
that?
10.
You can just see it.
You see, it just doesn't
Yeah.
pick up the same.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
inches.
for as long as I've been bowling in this building, I don't care what they do to it. When you're bowling 39 to 42 over there, it potluck.
Yeah,
the
41
topography-
and 2. Frankie
pair's
Kalka
brutal.
and I hit that pair. I bowled Nicole in that
My
pair.
ball went
and,
backwards
and
down
I
the
shot
lane.
2-0.
It's-
I shot 2-0. I think I bowled a pretty good game, actually. And I was just saying it's where lefties go to die, but I think it's just got weirdness
I think
on
that's
both
where
sides.
everybody goes to die.
Well,
It's like
Nicole
getting
shot 240
punished.
at me, so guess
Yeah.
what? Guess who figured it out?
Well, she's just really good. and
Yeah.
We're just trying
she
to catch
was
up.
pure. She was pure.
I
Every
bowled my
shot.
last game of qualifying on a pair, and my ball, Webb came to watch me because he was rooting me on. I had this chance of making it, and Frankie Kalka and Webb were like, "I've never seen you throw so straight into the pocket." I said, "Because if I don't, it doesn't pick up in the back at all."
I used 2 different balls. I had a flippy ball on 41 and a rolling ball on 42, and didn't help much.
Tony looks like he just made a last-minute adjustment on the approach there. I don't
Moving
know if
left.
anybody else is going to catch that.
And he moved right.
Still,
Yeah,
the,
he did.
still the code red and
Last-minute
packs it.
adjustment.
He played the earlier hook in the
Yeah.
front.
He did. He was ready to go, and he just kind of itched his way a little bit further right.
Yeah, a little wiggle there.
So you talked about all your bowling in this building, Alex. I can tell you this is our 52nd tournament in this building. I
Is
looked
it
it up.
really?
I looked it up over the years, and
Well,
there were no
coming-
tournaments here between 1982 and 1994. There was nothing held here.
So I started in '98, so that means I've bowled
There's been a
almost all of them in this place.
That's right.
I've bowled
Well,
almost
there
all.
were before that in the 60s.
Oh well, all
There
right.
were in the 70s.
Gotcha.
There were tournaments here.
Well, then I haven't bowled
So
them all.
no.
Hey, you got that
Interesting.
ought
You
to
got
the
that
face.
in.
Turn up. Oh, bad
Yeah.
shot.
The problem was that's the over adjustment.
Yep.
Yeah.
The over
It sure
adjustment is
is.
he missed 2 left in the front. Now the ball is already on
Did he
top
get
of
it a
him.
little slow, or did it just?
He
slow
got
down
it up
on
the lane
zone?
off his hand,
Yeah.
and now the problem
And
is because
red.
the early hook takes it in front of the takes it left of the hang spot,
Yeah.
and now it's
There's
Yeah.
no hold when there's no hold right there.
yeah, that was the tough thing about going right to left. You had to make sure you didn't get it left of the
There was a small window down lane when you were trying to hook it. You had a small window to hit,
Yeah.
and if you missed that window, it wasn't 9, it was 6.
I don't know why I feel like I give advice every time on the stream, and I'm the guy sitting in the booth from the start. So
Well, you got to run up there, and if they just go off the
he
off
got
their
he
shot,
got, he
and
got
look a
chance
little.
at it.
Good
try,
effort.
Good try.
Good effort.
Guys, we had a senior event yesterday, so now you won't bring it up, so I will. We had 68 entries,
I get
16
distracted.
finalists, and
I think that was our biggest one. Is my correct?
was
with
the
that?
68
largest
entries
turnout
was
ever.
our
Senior
largest turnout.
tournament,
I think
so-
it was good we tied it in with the Hall of Fame because we had a bunch of seniors show up.
Kudos to the seniors for showing up and bowling yesterday.
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome.
I was next to Frank Anton, who won in the 60s.
I
And
met
it was
him this
really
morning
inspiring,
at breakfast
very
at the
inspiring.
hotel, and I shook his hand and I said thank you for the
Yeah.
way you guys paved for us along the way. And
Yeah.
And it's just
That
not
flat
It was a
10 again.
However, she
but I met
still
him.
has it gives her 11 pin lead, Nicole. And let me just finish on the seniors. The cut yesterday was 11:59, and it was won by Steve Chiarella, who beat me, even though I had the first 6. He went spare sheet for 290, and
Bruce,
beat
it
me
just
with
seems like
240
everybody
something.
who continues on just seems like they have your number.
Yeah, well, you know,
Every time I hear you tell us a story about a winner or so that means you must be bowling pretty good.
you know,
you're hanging.
I
Not
got to
bad
tell
for an
you,
old
Andrew is out at Arizona State, and Jordan Nasberg's his coach. And I was out there 2 weeks ago. We were getting Andrew settled, and we went to practice. And he watched me, and in one shot, he changed pretty much my entire game. He moved me up in the approach. He told me that you can't have a push away past your fingers, so I push straight down now. And I shot 240 over yesterday and averaged 250 in the finals, and I shot 238 over today.
Good for you,
and
man.
bowled great. So it was
nice
just
to see the
pretty
small
good.
changes.
turnout. Great
Nice
shot.
She made a hook earlier.
And
I
it
gave her,
was-
I gave her a
it was
little.
that little-
This means you need to get a foot sooner.
Get that window in a foot sooner. And
Yeah, she knows.
it's amazing when you miss that window by just a little bit.
We
How your
talk-
ball
this
won't
comes
go
up on
through
our
the
stream
pins.
like every
It's
time now.
unbelievable.
If your ball goes past 35 feet and it's not transitioning, not
Well,
hook,
listen, it's that way now. It seems that way. It's everywhere. And, you know, I don't want to do the I, but the last time I bowled on tour in October,
why those guys
I
are
couldn't
good.
get my ball to hook. I couldn't get my ball to hook because the window to make your ball hook isn't at 40,
it's at
42
30, 35 feet.
anymore. You've got to get that target closer to you.
Nice shot,
And,
Tony.
you know, it's something that I'm trying to work on is seeing the patterns a little bit earlier and not playing so much of the back of the lane, which
You gotta play,
I love
you gotta
playing
play
the back of the
no,
lane.
you got to play the mid lane today's world.
you have to play the mid lane more, and I'm starting to hopefully see that. And maybe I'll win a match again at Niebuhr. It's been a little while.
It's been an ongoing conversation. It's something I noticed when I bowled the Masters the other year with you
Yep.
out in Indianapolis, and I was like, why are these guys hooking it? Like, why is Lorenz or whatever his name is,
Aaron Loren.
why is his ball hooking when he has a lower rev rate than mine? Then I realized his ball's hooking at 30, 35 feet.
Doesn't
Tony-
blow through that point.
Tony
big shot in
finds,
the match
Tony
here.
finds himself 31 down to Nicole. Strikes. Make
nice
it
shot,
21.
Tony.
Make it 21 pin lead for Nicole. She's working on a strike, and can she figure out the mid lane and carry the 10 pin in this
As
shot?
I said
I'm
earlier,
gonna say this
there's
is the
no
crucial
quitting
shot
Tony.
here. This is the crucial one here. And I say that because I feel like Tony's going to go sheet.
Yeah, I feel like Tony, you know,
Tony
there's no
will go-
quit. He's digging deep right now.
Tony can go sheet for 216.
You can only imagine how tired Tony must be right now after the weekend. And
We've, yeah,
the one thing about last night, you know, and I keep going back to it 'cause it was such a special night for us all, was, hold on, let's
left
see what
arm didn't
Nicole
stay up
does.
high enough.
To the left. But she
Ooh,
carries it.
snapped it. Good.
Back to a 21 pin lead for Nicole. That puts her at a 217 pace. And one more will put her 11 ahead of Tony's best score and probably will lock it up.
So real quick before Nicole
not
throws
really.
this shot.
Not really. She'll need a
not
mark in the
close.
10th.
She'll still need a mark.
Yeah. Sorry.
Tony Raynaud last night, the one thing that was constant last night at the event was everybody who looked over at Tony and just reminded him of how great a guy he was and how special he was to us all. And, you know, again, I've said it a bunch of times, but thank you, Tony, for what you do for us.
That was a better shot. Left arm stayed
Very
up
good
higher.
shot. She got a little right quick. and
Flush.
there
The
it
left
is.
arm stayed up, created better leverage.
Big shot.
One thing we worked on before the U.S. Open,
It's a great shot.
when her arm drops a little, she doesn't get the hit at the bottom of the swing, and her ball pukes in the back.
That makes sense. She loses that little bit of leverage, and
Yeah.
at this level that she plays the game at, that little bit means a lot.
There's a reason why she can compete with the boys, because she's able to get the leverage.
She
that
can
others
more than
can't.
compete with the boys.
So
Is there any way Matt Dizowitz doesn't take her up to the nut and bolt tournament? And
I
can
already requested
Oh,
that
well,
before that.
Oh,
But-
that's not fair.
Tony must go sheet to have any chance.
shot,
Gets this
Tony.
one.
We'll see what happens there. I'm sure I'll let Matt go.
Am I
'cause
allowed to plug that tournament?
Absolutely.
The Nut and Bolt tournament, first weekend in October, going to be hosted at Yankee Lanes in Keene, New Hampshire. Jeff Barden, one of our sponsors here, is putting together a mixed double tournament. He's calling it the Nut and Bolt, and it looks like $4,000 will be paid for first place.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's putting.
He does a great job. I was happy
Jeff
to meet
is
him.
Jeff is one of those owners, as is Tony, that really is just passionate about the game and
We
loves
had
the
an-
sport side.
We had
of
an
the
incredible weekend in Keene. He added money to both events up there, and all of the poker and the golf. And
But he
everything
ran around
was
hard trying to
beautiful.
get us to get the CBS Sports Network up, and he did a lot of stuff. Good shot, Tony.
Get it.
Yeah, for anybody
Carries
who
it.
doesn't know how we watch the Women's U.S. Open real quick.
I pretty much bowled bad the first
right.
squad trying to figure out how to get it to
yeah,
work.
so we ended up, the CBS Sports Network was not available in Keene. So we had somebody live streaming it through their Facebook page,
Yeah, that
which
was the only
then
way it
we
worked.
hooked up a phone to watch the live stream through another live stream
We tried
on a
everything.
television.
We tried.
And we basically, courtesy of Derek Michaud up in Maine, streaming it, we were able to watch Nicole and Valerie. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but represented New England well, and awesome job those girls did.
He needs this one or else it's over.
Yeah, he's got to have this one.
Well, he needs this. Actually, he needs the next one because then count becomes less important.
We got that in.
She's got a mark.
Match over.
9 pin, and that's going to do it. Nicole just needs to stay behind the foul line, and she is going to win her second NEBA title.
Joining Amanda Broge.
Amanda
The
Broge
only
is the only
multi-titleist.
woman
That's
to win
pretty
twice.
awesome.
Good for her.
Well,
And we have her coach, Becky, her old college coach, who won the very first title for a lady sitting here watching her, Becky Craigling. And look at Matthew. Matthew just chimed in.
Zikowicz.
Matthew chiming
Wow,
in.
wow, wow, wow,
yeah,
wow, wow.
She's better
wow,
than
wow,
you.
Matt. Yep, I second that. See, Buddy's Pro Shop and Strike FX, we agree on something. See that?
We've, you know, the funny thing is, I think
better.
we won every title this year between the two of us. We've won
You
the
know,
last few.
I'm
You
just
guys won
proud
the-
to be part of it, man. And
Nothing
you know,
better than the year that
just proud of it.
you had when we won all but one tournament. About 5 years ago now, 6 years ago.
I lost you though. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
About 5 or 6 years ago, the Buddy's Pro Shop team, when you were with me, we won
Yeah.
all but one title that year.
Yeah, it was, you know, congratulations to Nicole, who's about to
Big
shed a
man.
tear. The raw emotion of the weekend continues. I'm going to be kicked out of the seat real soon to make way for Nicole, which is deserving. But one last time, just big shout out to NEBA. I'm shaking Chris's hand that nobody can see right now.
Because
I
we didn't
love
shake
you,
hands
buddy.
all weekend, but
Yeah,
Bruce is in
we
the way.
hugged. We hugged all
They
weekend
hugged
long.
all weekend.
We're going to
Big
hug.
group hugs.
Big group
Big
hug here we got
media-
going
group
on.
Media hugs.
Chris Forey, thank you. Bruce Hall for the MC job. And thanks for letting me sit in for 3 rounds. It was pretty cool. And maybe I'll watch Facebook on the way home and listen to my voice on the way home
I
through
do.
the Bluetooth.
I
Is
try
that what
to
you do?
I analyze myself.
I do too.
Well, this was my first, and I didn't see any negative comments.
I want to thank Tony though, real quick.
Yeah.
Tony put an Ethernet port in for me on Friday, so
Did
we're
he really?
streaming through that. So that's why we have a perfect stream. So I want to thank you for that.
Again, another host going out of his way yet again for NEBA. And
Great shot.
standing ovation for Nicole
247.
Trudell.
247 for Nicole.
Very good. Guys, thank you very, very much for having me sit in. I'm going to head home now. It's a long ride home. But again, Chris, all the work you did this weekend does not go unnoticed. The raw emotion that you showed yesterday and how you wanted everything to go so perfectly, and it did. Whether you think it went perfectly or not, my friend, it was
Honestly,
absolutely perfect.
I can tell you honestly, at the end of the day, when we were all sitting, and when everybody walked off the stage for the final time, I told Violet, I said, we did it.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was better than all.
I hope to be part of another celebration 50 years from now. Guys, thank you very much. NEBA, we're out.
Yep. Everybody, please stay on. We're going to bring Nicole in.
Yep.
first of all, we have our 2 finalists, Nicole Trudell, champion, Tony Renaud, host. And congratulations. First of all, thank you for the wonderful weekend. Congratulations, Nicole. Bruce Hall with me. I just, this wrapped it up perfectly.
Yeah, it was beyond my wildest dreams today. I threw the ball really good today for the first time in a long time, and it's giving me motivation.
You were throwing it good yesterday, Tony, as well. So
Yesterday
you were
too,
throwing it good all weekend.
Yeah, the
so.
weekend was good.
Yeah, good for
Weekend
you.
was good. I felt like I got some timing back. My arm swing was nice and low where I really like it, and made good shots.
You
know,
did.
the last pair checked me up a little bit. It was a little tighter.
Well, for both of you, we were noting the
Yeah.
mid lanes were tighter and a lot of corners. We saw you make the move right
Yeah.
and pipe it harder a little bit, maybe a little.
Actually, I tried to slow it down.
Did you?
I slowed it down
Okay.
and just tried to let it to get into a roll.
But stayed with the code red.
Yeah, stay with
Yeah.
the cold red. It was. I thought about changing balls, but
We were wondering that.
and I
Yeah,
said,
Daredevil trick would look good.
So,
Yeah.
so they were accusing you of not normally being a big ball changer. I
Yeah.
didn't participate, but
yeah,
they were
not
saying
a quick
that.
ball
so-
changer. You know, I thought I could work it out with ball speed.
Yeah. No. Well, you made the move. You made her show up in the 10th.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
I-
she flushed too.
yeah,
So
she
that was
she
the end of
flushed them
that.
all.
So
Yeah.
Nicole, second title. Congratulations. You joined Amanda Broges, the only other woman to have 2 titles. You bowled great all day. I watched you. You killed me. You rolled over everybody. Great bowling. How are you feeling?
I don't really have words for it. You know, titles they're hard to come by. You know, I've made a couple top 8 finishes this year, and I felt like I was starting to get close, and it was nice to finally have a breakthrough. And you know, I spent a lot of time with Chris doing a lot of hard work on the lanes, and actually this last pair, exactly what we work on all the time, I was able to figure it out in the 7th frame after
A little hand gesture.
a little hand gesture that reminded me of the process, and
So just so
it
you know,
worked out.
Chris was coaching you every shot. He was coaching your ball. He was coaching your left arm. He was coaching your release. He commented on every shot. He commented on the lanes and the lining up. So he was, whether you heard him or not, he was psychologically sending a lot of energy to you.
Osmosis.
Yeah,
Yes.
wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
That's how we work. I think I yelled at the TV the other week. So
yeah.
My ball hooked today in the match, so that was fun too.
So we were also commenting that you were another part of NEBA history, and that we believe is the first all-female semifinal match. And
Actually, that is inaccurate. A cool fun fact is my semifinal match for the non-champions event that I won. I bowled a great friend in Jackie Carbonetto.
I knew
okay.
Jackie was in one of them.
okay,
And
okay,
I
we stand
actually
corrected.
I bowled her in the quarterfinals, and then semifinals.
So I semis, I believe.
The round
yeah,
of 4.
She had a
Okay.
chance to make it.
Yes.
Well, if at some point you're in the final, that'll be the record.
Yes,
So
that will be.
there you go.
That would be really cool, by the way.
But
So as long as we have you, we have to ask you about the U.S. Open. So tell us about your emotions in making the show. I mean, we all saw the picture of you hugging your mom, and that was on the feed, and then we were all streaming in Keene, and it was just the most, if you could have been there, we were just talking about it. We had a stream of a stream of a stream, and we were trying to get a computer to show it, and then we had a camera on it, and we were trying to show it. It was, the whole bowling center was wrapped with that. So tell us about that experience and how that went.
you know, prior to that, I was really in I would say just a mental bowling slump. You know, I wasn't necessarily bowling poorly, but I wasn't bowling to the standards I felt that I was putting the work in to be at. And I went out there after having a couple talks with a couple close people, and you know, I really tried to simplify my game as much as possible, and I called Chris Forey a lot and bothered him, and I tried to just keep my head as level as possible through 56 games because it's a long time. I mean, making this show was unbelievable. Being able to hug my mother is probably the coolest feeling. I wish my dad could be there, but obviously, you know, I have to pick and choose sometimes.
Well, Matt made it down.
He did.
So
He
we
did
were-
make it
We
down.
worked hard at
We
that.
were working hard.
Yes.
We were scheming and planning. Or Chris was scheming and
Yes.
planning and figuring out his flights.
That
and
was
then,
actually
Poor guy.
Janine, my wife. She had paperwork all over the place, figuring out flight details.
and then he got delayed, and there was stress.
Yes.
as to
Then
whether
I
he was
yelled
gonna
at-
Poor
make
guy
it at
slept
all.
in the airport.
Then I yelled at United, and we got that straight. I yelled at United, and we got that all taken care of. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just really an incredible weekend. So you get on TV, and you're obviously, you know,
Nervous.
what does the nerves feel,
Very
right?
nervous.
It's like, you know, can you pry off the first one? How does
It's
that
very
feel?
it's very warm.
Yeah.
Very warm.
Bowling the greatest lady bowler that ever lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone. I really tried to just bowl the pins and just fill all my boxes and kind of look up at the end and see if it was enough.
Yeah. That's a really smart way to go about it.
It was really the only way that I felt I would have the most success with canceling out the nerves mostly.
Yeah.
I got the first one off my hand okay, so I was able to breathe a little bit after that, and I think it was about the 8th frame that you kind of realize, you know, you have the greatest up there, and unless a miracle happens, you're not advancing. So
Well,
I was able to kind of just really enjoy it, the moment, and I think that was the best part.
Just remembering the game, she didn't have her A look.
No,
I didn't
she did
think,
not.
You know, and she still kind of made it work.
Yep.
So, boy, I
And
wish I could.
that's why
if-
she's the
if-
greatest.
If I had a bowling wish, I'd give you a chance again at that match because I thought you had a pretty good look. And, you know, but congratulations
Thank you.
on that. And
Thank you.
and today you're just a great champion, just so firm and solid at the line. And Chris has been mentioned. So, what are some of the things Chris has been doing with you around release position? I know he's been trying to get you in a 3/4 position around your fingers. He's been working
Yep.
with your left arm. What are some of the things he's been doing?
I would say probably the left arm is the biggest key for my game right now. It really dictates where my ball's going. It dictates where my ball's going to start hooking on the lane. And there's some shots in the beginning of that match that, you know, my left arm dropped a little bit and the ball got through the front, so really skidded.
Chris called that. In
Of
fact, you
course
won in
he
the
did.
8th. You won in the 8th. She goes, she dropped her, and then
Yeah,
you
you
then
have
you
to-
slapped the 10 out.
I've got the best on
like-
my team, so of course he did.
Yeah.
And I finally, you know, I worked on focusing on the process and keeping my left arm up and going towards my target, and brought my hands a little closer to me to go around the lane, which is something that we really
There we
work
go.
on. And I was able to throw the back couple, and they actually went through the pins, which was nice to see.
They did look good. So you made a ball change
I did.
at the
Um,
early in the
yes,
in the match.
after the second frame, I left 10 pin, 10 pin. I made a lot of quick ball changes on the fly, which I'm actually pretty proud of through these rounds of match play. This center has always tricked me. I've actually never made a cut here, so
Wow.
this is a big feat. And
1 for 1.
I finally figured him out.
One cut
to
and
get
6-0
through match
title.
play.
Wait till next time.
It's manager's revenge right there. That's okay.
He said I'm not welcome back, but I don't
Yeah.
believe him for a
You're
second.
very welcome back.
Oh, that's okay. Wow.
I love seeing what you did today.
Thank
It's
you.
just amazing. I'm proud of you.
Wow. I mean, and there was no gimmies. I mean, you know,
No, every match. I mean,
Natasha bowled fabulous.
yeah, she bowled fantastic. I honestly just had a couple lucky breaks that went my way that game, and that was
Yeah.
really just the difference. She flushed them.
yeah,
and
yeah. I mean, she
she's a
committed
tough-
the cardinal
tough
sin of
opponent.
missing in the 5th and 6th, and then you and then still made you show up.
Yes,
So
still made
right
me show up.
in with the first 9. So
Yes.
you know, yeah. So she definitely pushed you.
Absolutely. Really, every match kind of pushed me today. You know, when the scores are so high, you're constantly thinking of, you know, 9's not enough. How am I going to put together some strikes?
That's
and
it. That's
that
it.
was the main focus through match play today, was figure out how I could put some triples together.
Yeah. Well, you did it, Nicole. Congratulations, title number 2.
Thank you.
You're a great champion, and you carried yourself just unbelievable out there. Chris Forey, great job in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Really proud of you. I know many late nights, months of effort and preparation. And Tony, you're the best host I'm sure we have, my friend. You are the
Thank
best.
you.
Definitely, I
thank you.
second that.
None of us could find a way to pay for any food here all weekend, and it was just, you know, the conditions were great, the staff is great, everything is here is fantastic. So, guys, thanks so much. Any last words, Chris or anybody?
I just want to say again to everybody that this weekend was the greatest weekend. I mean, the 50th was great. This, though, again, please, if you have not watched the stream from last night, watch it. The energy, the goosebumps you'll get from listening to
The
everybody talk
tears.
from Tony, the tears, the emotion, just the raw emotion. Bruce's job on the being the MC.
Yeah.
The night as a whole just tells you, if you don't understand NEBA, watch that. You will understand why we have so much pride in our club.
I had 2 observations last night. One was that even as the night kind of got into the second half and got along, and Tim broke it up with some comic relief, some of which is not suitable for repeating, but everybody was extremely attentive at the introductions and rapt when the bowlers went up and made their speeches.
Nobody
There was
talked over
silence
anybody.
the entire night. So everybody was looking at it, and the emotions you saw. This was no reality show emotion. This was deep felt, lifelong commitment to this game and to each other that you just cannot replicate. And I can't imagine anyone who was there wasn't moved by that event last night. So it was just unbelievable.
For me, there was 56 people, 54 people going in, and I enjoyed hearing every single one of them talk.
Yeah.
You know, it was
have to
it
agree.
was interesting. It never got boring,
Never.
and never felt long. So
Yeah.
it was a great night.
And my final thing would be, there are two keys that really stick out. Is at 4:30 while we're still setting up, and they don't have to be there until 5 o'clock. Now, if anybody goes to any event, nobody's ever early. And I'm setting up with my wife, and I look out the window, and there are cars. There are probably like 20
They're all
cars,
pulling in,
20,
yeah.
30 cars already in there. And now I'm stressing out saying,
Yeah.
we're not even ready.
Yeah.
And they're ready. They're lined up outside as I'm going to get my clothes to change.
Yeah.
At the same thing, so that just shows you how important it was for everybody just to gather for the cocktail hour. The other part that really rings a bell or sticks in my head is at the end of the night. The night ended. It was late. Everybody could go home. It wasn't like
people
that.
were there another hour and a half.
We were
They
there
were
till
there-
midnight,
Yeah.
and they had to pretty much throw us out. It's because that's being together is how important it was. And like you said, the theme of the night was family. You know, about the organization. And so again, like I said, if anybody has any questions or wonder why NEBA is what NEBA is, it's not because of me. I'm just a person. I'm the latest. Would you say gatekeeper or
Caretaker.
caretaker?
I
Thank
would
you.
say,
I'm
yeah.
not great. I'm not good at words like that, but
Yeah.
that's I currently hold that position.
Yep.
Somebody else, Dave Kipperman, will hold it next. He understands. He will learn from me. I learn from Viali. Viali learn from Healy. It passes down. We all learn, and we will keep leading the club. But people will, if you don't know NEBA, like I said, watch the 15,000 people watch the second half of the evening already.
I did not hear that stat
amazing.
until today. That's incredible.
So,
It
and
was
that happened by
incredible.
1 o'clock last
So,
night in the
wow.
morning. 15,000. So
Wow.
go watch. You will understand why NEBA is important to Danny K, Calvin, those
Wow.
that are still here. This is what it's about.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Nicole,
you.
congratulations again.
Thank you.
And
Congratulations, Nicole.
we will
Thank
catch
you.
you guys next time.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll see you at our next event, which is at
Malden, Town Line 10 Pin.
Town Line
Malden.
10. Sorry about that. We're not good
BowlNEBA.com
about
has
that.
the schedule.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.